We are back recording Duncan. We're outside now.
Hi all.
Duncan's project. So can we call this the?
It's the Grossman project.
Okay, we're going to call this the Grossman project. It's a private tract of land. You've looked at the plans. We've talked about that. We know a little bit about Duncan. Now we're going to head on down this.
So the first thing I had to do was get this wall in order to get some kind of a flat staging area.
This CMU wall, because this was, this is the slope, gang. This is the slope. So wow. Just grubbing this thing had to be fun.
Yeah, it was. But where the silt fence is basically my building envelope. So you'll see how close it gets to the building on the sides. And actually I cheated that by about 4 feet to get enough room for scaffolding after framing's done.
Is this then just a hammerhead turnaround part of the drive as you come
No. We'll have an interior wall 16 feet from that does the same. This is actually high for the cut. So we'll have, at the apex of this turn, it's about 3 feet high from this grade to the driveway. We had to do that to get a 16% slope on the driveway for fire department
so you had to
access.
Switch back.
Yeah.
Because this is where you can't just go down this.
No, too steep.
Too steep.
So the driveway sweeps around and then sweeps around again. And where the brush is the entry to the motor court.
Okay, so as you sweep, then you're going to turn this way.
You sweep in and you go straight in. Okay, so it's.
Okay, yeah. Oh man, I'm just trying to picture all the things I saw on that plan.
So we're still on the driveway.
Okay.
Right, we're coming down. And then this is the beginning of the motor court. So we've got a retaining wall here that'll be part of the driveway, another retaining wall there, and a little structure goes there, but that's a retaining wall for the motor court. The motor court goes out to where it starts stepping, and that's that cantilever over the kitchen. This is the garage. And I've opted to put this wall in first. Well, first of all, I had to do all the exterior walls so that I could start building inside.
Makes sense.
They had to, their caissons 30 feet down, either behind the walls, because I couldn't build outside.
So would you say a big part of this is timing and understanding flow and critical path?
Huge part, and when to the point where every other day I'm saying, oops, well, maybe we can't do that right now, we'll have to do this.
Yeah.
And
maybe I should have done, oh damn, I didn't think of that.
I haven't come to that yet. Okay. No, not yet.
Tell us a little bit about the waterproofing in these CIP walls, if you don't mind.
So what we have is, first they put a membrane on the wall. Then this textured mat. I don't know if you can see it in this light, but that's drain board. So the water will hit that and go all the way down. Then there'll be a traditional French drain at the bottom, and we backfill. Correct. Take it to and this is
somewhere.
Right.
We're going to have a hell of a lot of trouble getting things to daylight with fall here.
Can't daylight anything. Everything goes to right here where the excavator is going to be a 20-foot by 4.5 foot, not dry well, but it's a vessel that will get most of the ground and roof water and then go to a dissipator field.
So tell me the size of it again.
It's 20 feet. 4.5 foot diameter.
So 4.5 foot diameter by 20 foot deep.
No, 20 foot long. So it's a cylinder that lies just below the surface.
And then is it supposed to leach?
It has baffles to slow down the flow of everything that's coming into it, but then it's got one outlet that will eventually get to the landscape where it goes into a dissipator bar. So
you're putting it back into the groundwater.
Yes.
You're telling it where to go.
yeah.
You're not letting it just run willy-nilly.
You can't. You're not allowed to do that. You have to mitigate all your water these days.
Right. You have to tell it where to go. All
Yeah.
of it.
And let it out slowly.
Yeah, and I have some conditions where I'm going to have to do some small dry wells, some collection boxes,
Yeah.
or a pump, one or the other.
All right.
Speaking of pumps, did they get it in?
Yes. Yes, they did.
Good. We'll be able to see that. Let's talk a little bit about when we get down there. We'll talk about the ejector pump. But what else about where we are now?
So, as I said before, these exterior walls, I can't go any further outside of them. So this is my ramp down the center. It used to go all the way down to where you see the forming for the pool, but that's, we take the ramp out stage by stage as we're developing a level. How I've figured this out is that was great to get access to do the exterior walls. Yeah, much better. But I can't. All my footings and most of my structural elements are on this side of the house. So now that I've got most of it staged, I put this wall in for two reasons. One, it's going to contain the ramp. I'm going to move the ramp over to this side and go up against that exterior wall so that I can clear this to do the majority of my footings and structural elements. Then I connect the dots. This is a cold joint for this wall. It gives me enough to do my garage, backfill my garage, so I've got a little bit more of a staging area. As you can see, the footprints of each level is quite small and doesn't give you much room to move around, let alone equipment.
Is there?
This is going to be the only area that gets overexed. This is the motor court, and this has about a 2-foot clay base on top. Most everything is down to bedrock. So.
God help me. I tell you, I was thinking after I came up here the other day how happy I am to have the problems I have.
Well, it is challenging.
Yeah, man, that's where the greatest problems come.
That's true. As you said before, it's a gamut of emotions.
Yeah. And it's great to be around you. I hope you're getting this. I mean, I hope your mic is getting this. It's great to be around you because I just remember what it was like. I'm good. Got it. And that was me falling. In case you wonder. Yes.
So I was supposed to get stairs yesterday, but they sent too big a truck to even get off the freeway.
Oh, God.
So eventually, between the levels, I'll have these adjustable stairs with handrails and make it a lot easier, because this has been getting steeper and steeper as the tractors go up. Yeah. They dig in at the bottom and just make it steep.
And so this has just been scooped out.
Yeah.
So that it's gotten steeper and steeper.
Plus, we have to access the two sides, so that makes that. So.
What are we looking at over here before we go down?
So this is where we talked about. So this is the main level, and that's where the elevator is going to go, in that corner.
So above that is the tower that's connected to
Well, above that wall is basically the whole garage, and the tower goes up above that. So
this CIP cast in place wall is part of the interior, the main part of the house. Well, I mean,
this is the retaining wall for the main portion. I've got columns that with I-beams that are out at this line here. The motor court extends out to this point, so that you have covered space to walk into your house from the elevator.
Of course. I wonder, so would these walls just get furred with steel or wood studs and then become interior walls, or they
They get plaster.
Right? Oh, they just get plastered themselves.
Yeah,
And they'll
because
be part of the
this
interior?
essentially is the exterior.
Okay, okay.
Right, still. The interior
okay.
wall's back here.
Okay, so this is still exterior. I got it.
This is all exterior, just covered.
Got it.
So this
Covered
is
so you can come down the elevator and you can
walk into your entry. All nice and covered.
Now I noticed
So-
there's also a couple of spaces over here, right? Faced in that way, right at the entry, right before the entry forecourt. There's a
Well,
couple of-
again, the motor court, this is the lounge and this is the kitchen that goes out to that corner. The motor court goes out to where it starts stepping down. Those are exterior steps to get down to this level.
So I noticed there was 2 parking spaces there.
Yes,
So you can park
that's over the lounge part of the main room.
And then those 2 headouts, what are those for?
That's just decorative grills, just to break up the monotony of the wall.
Sweet.
That'll be a 42-inch guardrail wall
Uh-huh.
above the level of the.
So that right now it's finished is 42 inches, or it gets a finish on top of it? Gets a guardrail on top of it?
No, it's down 3 inches for it gets a stone cap and mortar, but that the wall
That's
just gets
it.
plastered.
So grade is 42 inches below that.
Correct.
And plus less your stone cap.
Yeah.
Well, the details, man. I mean, I wonder how long it took these guys to draw this.
So this was one of those almost aha moments, or oh no. We were doing the grade beams and everything, and we've got the caissons, and I went, this was at the beginning of the project. I said, I've got to get my steel in because it's 42 inches below this footing. So in order to do the wall, I got to get the steel in. So we decided to do a half column so that we didn't have to worry about the exact
Center of
plumbness. Well, it still has to be centered, but we were concerned about how we would, stabilize that, because that beam's going to be 18 feet tall. Well, it would have been 18.
So
It would have
right
been
now,
18. Yeah.
It's going to get another beam bolted onto it and continue on up.
Full pen weld up to the next level, so it'll go up another 10 feet.
And it's down into a footing now.
It is
Bolted to a footing? Is that a flange on the bottom? Is that how they did it? And then dry packed it and then poured around it?
So we got a case on that it sets on and bolts to.
Okay.
And then we've got a 42-inch deep grade beam, as you can see exposed there, that goes underneath and attaches to that.
That grade beam, that's the step footing, just continues on as a grade beam. Oh, there it is right there.
Yeah.
How many yards of concrete?
I haven't even added it up. I'm almost afraid to, but
Jordan, who's running your job from KCI?
Carlos Wizer, and he's excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, he
did our work
yeah.
job we've been talking to you about.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, watch your step.
Carlos. Now,
So we are now on the lower level, and the upper level, or the main level, comes out to this point and then extends over with its own balcony deck
so this
out to that point.
So we're looking at the pool right here, right?
The pool is
Pool.
that's the formed area,
And
correct?
then, so where this piece of equipment is, this is going to be that guest house.
The guest house is the rumble,
Okay.
right? So from where that footing is dug out,
Mhm.
that's how wide the guest house is. Then it's open area covered by this deck, and then it has a semicircular stair there that runs down to a trellised patio that runs out to the end of that form, or the cast in place concrete out there, and that will be pool deck level. So
And so obviously this is getting a giant retaining wall?
yes, this has a retaining wall that goes from that wall. Well, all this, the zero clearance, that'll be a shotcrete wall. This is a poured in place with the footing. That's why the footings are 10 feet by 2 feet. As they're digging the footings, they're rebuilding. This is the third time we've had a ramp in here to get the work done for down there.
Yeah, so these guys, this backhoe and this excavator have to come down this ramp.
Well, it's got to come up that ramp.
But did they come down this ramp?
They came down a ramp similar, but not quite this steep, not quite this material.
Now that they're down there, they've done all this, and they're going to have to come out of here.
The big one has to come up this. The small one has to clean up whatever this machine can't get out of there and clean up.
Oh my God. That's a pretty big excavator.
Yes, it is. And the Mini will clean up all the footings and then be hoisted